Everyone, and welcome to this past life pick a card reading. In this reading, there are 3 stacks as usual, but I have the past life oracle card deck involved, as well as a tarot card deck involved. So there's 2 cards for each stack. So 1 oracle card that relates to past life, and then 1 tarot card to provide extra information. And of course, not everybody will have these specific past lives that are listed, or not in the same way that I'm explaining them in combination with the tarot card. But if you choose a stack, then that doesn't mean it has to specifically be a past life. I will explain what could have happened in a prior lifetime for you, but also the themes of that. So focus mainly on the themes. If you feel that the past life itself resonates with you, you can take that as well, but it could also just be a theme that relates to a past life, or just a theme that is going on in your current life that you need to work on. And you may not feel drawn to any of these cards, and that is also completely okay. If that is the case, I have plenty of other timeless pick-a-card readings all over my channel, my Brittney's Holistic Healing YouTube channel. Here is stack 1A, stack 2B, stack 3C. You can pause if you'd like, and if you need some more time to figure out which stack you feel most drawn to. Also, just a reminder that everything listed in this video, everything I talk about, is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Now let's get into the video. Hello 1A, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. For the past life card, you chose Galactic. And for the tarot card, you chose 6 of Cups in reverse. And I will read what the keywords say on here as well for the 6 of Cups. So it says happy house, childhood memories, but it is in reverse. I feel that for many of you who chose this past life card, if it relates to a specific past life, this can indicate that you are going through your lifetime now that is similar to a past life that you had where you were, as they say, an indigo child or star child, or just basically like an alien life form. So not of this earth, or maybe, I'm just going to say that, not of this earth, or maybe not even of this galaxy, if you believe in that, which some people do believe in reincarnation through different life forms outside of earth and outside of this galaxy. So you may have themes similar to that lifetime. You may have had more than one lifetime where you were like an alien or other worldly being, but there's one in particular that you may be having similar life themes from. You maybe even have dreams about this place, or you may feel very strongly connected to a certain otherworldly life form. But I think actually for many of you who chose this card, whether it relates to a past life or not, you feel very different from other people in this lifetime. You may feel that you are like an outsider, that everybody's very different from you, or that more so you're so different from everybody else. Maybe growing up it was very difficult for you to make friends or to find common interests with other people, and maybe your common interests are very different from other people as well. I think maybe when you were younger, you especially had, if this specifically does relate to a past life, you maybe had dreams of being not on this planet and maybe being amongst the stars. Also, some of you maybe, how do I put this? Some of you maybe, we're all made of stars, stardust, if you believe in that. And I think that maybe some of you have not reincarnated for quite some time, actually. And that could also be because you went through a certain experience in a prior lifetime that was very traumatic. And here's the thing with past lives. We all have done crappy things in this lifetime and in prior lifetimes. Some people have done really awful things, especially when people are newer spirits, or they're reincarnating as humans. Like they're just starting out doing that, and it's something new for them, for certain souls or spirits. So for some of you, maybe you have not reincarnated much, or it's been a while since you have reincarnated. Some of you have not been very kind souls, in prior lifetimes, and so you've had a lot of work to do in the spirit realm before being able to reincarnate again. Okay. This can also just indicate, also I will say the reverse of that as well. Maybe, something happened to you and it was a lot to process, and so you need to, in the spirit realm, process all of that for a while before reincarnating again. For some of you, maybe you just feel very divinely protected, and some of you maybe right now are going through a lot of hardships, a lot of issues, especially if they stem from when you were younger in this lifetime. And if you're just very unhappy in general, but more specifically if you have like any traumas or childhood wounds that you need to work through, then this can indicate that spirit is here with you, and that in order to work through those issues, what can help is connecting to the divine beings above, or even like within yourself. Also, past life therapy could be helpful, and also you could talk to a psychic or a medium, or in past life regression therapy as well. You can find out the links between that are connecting you to the people of your childhood in this lifetime and with prior lifetimes, because oftentimes we have soul groups, whether we get along with these people or not. We have people in our soul groups who we often reincarnate with, and that we meet or that we grow up with in different lifetimes, in most of our lifetimes together. So that could be very helpful for you as well as doing past life regression therapy. I recommend at first, especially if you're not very strongly intuitive, going to a past life regression therapist before trying to do it on your own. You won't get stuck or anything if you do it on your own. Like, it's not a permanent thing if you don't, so you don't have to worry about not getting out if you do it by yourself or even with somebody else there to help guide you. But it's just, I first did past life regression therapy with other people guiding me through it before I started using YouTube videos. Now I don't need to even use YouTube videos. I can just guide myself, but I actually haven't done that in a while. Probably should. But doing some sort of past life regression therapy work could be very helpful. And if not, if you're working on this lifetime, current lifetime crap, and like decluttering from all of the traumas and the issues that you have had or that you currently have, then just remembering that you can connect with spirit at all times and they will help guide you through the situation. All right, 1A, I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Hello, 2B, and welcome to your part of the Pick a Card reading video. Your past life card that you chose is Celtic, and the tarot card that you pulled is Ten of Swords in reverse, and I will pick this up and read what it says on the bottom. So it says death or ending of situation or relationship, and it is in reverse. So, of course, even with those keywords, that is helpful, but when I first pulled the card, the Ten of Swords card in combination with Celtic, because you lived in the times of being a Celtic person, and when they were thriving back in the day, a lot of times for me, at least when I've pulled this card, I think it has to do with witchcraft and all that for me, and natural medicine. But for you, I feel that maybe that does relate. Maybe some of you maybe have been witches in past lives and you were persecuted, but I just think many of you died very suddenly. I think many of you possibly died in war or in battle. And it could have been from somebody as well that you knew and that you trusted, because Ten of Swords is all about betrayal. So now, since it's in reverse, it's about healing from that betrayal, and that's something to work on in this lifetime. So you may have trust issues, especially with certain people. So if there's somebody, especially if they are a part of your soul group, who is reincarnated, who has incarnated into this lifetime with you, and you know them, you're close to them, even if you're not, if you just feel like some sort of inkling that you knew them in a past life, or you just feel drawn to them still, even if you don't like them, whatever it is, there's somebody who you did not trust in a past life, especially because they likely betrayed you or even murdered you, okay? Like, I'm really getting the battle vibes, like in some sort of battle. Again, it could have been they turned you in for like something like witchcraft, or whatever. Whatever it is, though, I feel that there's somebody that you need to trust, to learn to trust in this lifetime, that betrayed you in a previous lifetime, and that means they also have to put in the work too. But hopefully they're putting in the work to gain your trust back. And this can also permeate all throughout your life and relationships, so you may just not trust anybody, and especially if that's people you're closest to. You may not trust people. You may feel that you'll get stabbed in the back, just like in this prior lifetime. And even if it doesn't relate to a prior lifetime, if it's just for this lifetime, the Celtic part really makes me think that if there are certain people, if you just have general trust issues, or if there's certain people that you don't trust, especially if they have done something in this lifetime, I'm trying to connect that with the Celtic part. You may benefit from, people of angels, archangels, deities. You may benefit from working alongside Celtic deities. And you may also benefit from maybe just looking up different Celtic traditions and ideals, and that can help you connect to whether that's a past life where you were Celtic, or it can connect you to just those Celtic traditions, and that can make you feel more at peace. And that's the best way I can describe it. Like, maybe there's certain foods that relate to the Celtic people of past and present, and you could eat foods that they made, and that could help you to, again, just feel more at peace, maybe feel more safe. Because with the Ten of Swords being in reverse, with that healing process, you need to feel safe. So I would really look into different Celtic traditions, foods, lifestyles that could help you. Even something like going to the Renaissance Fair, which sounds maybe a little weird. And during those times too, I wonder if something that you could do to reclaim yourself in this lifetime is, in order to heal, some of you may benefit from, and this maybe sounds specific, but some of you may benefit from forms of exercise that are more combative. So think like MMA fighting or boxing. Not just things where, not like I was a swimmer, right? So not swimming, because that's very not contact sport. Do something maybe that's more of a contact sport, and that will help you relieve tension. And you could also do something that's more of a contact sport, like you could do boxing with somebody who you really trust, or somebody who you have trust issues with. And if you do, for some reason, I feel like doing that could help bring you closer to them. And you could work through some stuff, and it might be hard at first, but then it'll, like, things will be put out into the open, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then they will be released physically. But I feel like trusting, that's actually, even, it doesn't even have to be like somebody in your life. It could just be like a coach or a trainer. Having somebody that you can trust and be more in a vulnerable fighting state in, that could be very helpful. Let's see, are there any other messages? Some of you maybe have been cheated on in this lifetime, or in a prior lifetime too, and that just rocked your world. So now it's a time of healing and focusing on yourself, and focusing on forming your own traditions, rooted in individualism, okay? I hope you enjoy 2B and take care. Hello 3C, and welcome to your part of the Pick a Card reading video. You chose the Oracle card Monk or Nun for past lives, and then you chose for the Tarot Nine of Cups in reverse. And the keywords that are listed under the Nine of Cups say improvements underway, feeling smug or pleased, but it is in reverse. And I'm not surprised that it pulled this for y'all. Actually, all the Oracle cards that I pulled, I'm really not surprised, because of the kind of people that watch and listen to these kinds of videos, but especially this. I mean, I think that if this connects specifically to a past life that you have had, then you are very obviously likely a monk or a nun, or somebody involved in the spiritual realm, especially more of an organized religion or a community-based religion. I mean, that can include witchcraft, but that I really don't feel that for this. So I think of more secular, like Christianity especially, but it can be any form of religion, especially think of going to church, and think of, if you don't follow this path, then you could be persecuted. Think that, okay? When the Nine of Cups is in reverse, it's about being generally very unhappy. And it can also be about the things that we wished for coming true and being unhappy with the result in the short or long term. So I think that for some of you in a past life, you could have been a monk or nun or something similar. And after you chose to do that, you were not happy with it. And some of you maybe were forced into doing that, especially if you were a nun in a past life. You may have been forced into it because you were a woman and maybe you had certain issues going on, and so people thought you were undesirable for marriage and for bearing children, just as an example. But I think that whatever this past life connects to for some of you, you were just very unhappy with your part in what was going on. I think a lot of you maybe were very actually disgusted about some of the things that were going on, and you just did not want to be part of it, but maybe you were forced into it or felt that you had no other option or choice, or maybe things changed and shifted as time went on, or maybe you just didn't realize the implications of being involved in that way. I feel like there was probably a lot of lying and deceit in this lifetime, but I don't think it's from you or your side of things, except for you maybe lying about being happy or okay with the situation. But I think around you just witness a lot of that, and I think that really damaged a lot of you. And I think in this lifetime, whether it relates to that lifetime or not, whether you had that kind of lifetime or not, a lot of you maybe struggle with religion, especially organized religion, and I think you feel very put off by organized religion or certain parts of organized religion. Some of you maybe are very spiritual and feel very negative feelings toward organized religion, secular religion, and those types of organizations. And if that is the case, just make sure that, because here's the thing, I think for a lot of you, part of your soul's purpose is to find, well, purpose in general, because with the Nine of Cups, it is about purpose, except for here it's in reverse. So I think a lot of you maybe also struggle with finding purpose in your life. And because of that, some of you maybe fall back onto religion or spirituality, especially in desperate times, or when you're feeling very depressed or out of it. So this is a time of finding better coping mechanisms, but also of finding a way to establish a better framework, lay down on the ground, better groundwork, laying the framework so that you can have different, not clutches to fall back on, but, habits to fall back on and positive thoughts to fall back on. I think some of you maybe only reach out to people when it's absolutely like a dire situation. Some of you may struggle with asking for help, or you may only reach out to spirit or your spirit guides, or you only may meditate when things are very, very stressful. So I think in this lifetime, what you need to focus on is doing. Again, it's hard because some of you, I think, are very put off by religion and spirituality. So find the things that work for you. It doesn't have to be these grandiose things. Like for me, I'm actually very put off personally by the witchcraft spells that are very elaborate and intense and involve a lot of different things. For me, that's very overwhelming. And I feel like, you get told that even doing minimal things work. So it's like, for me, I don't like doing all the grandiose big things. So, and I'm involved in this space, so I would just say find the things that work for you. It doesn't have to be anything big or large. It can be such small things, even if it's just writing or putting one picture above your wall, up on your wall above your pillow. It could be one picture, and you can be like, I will look at this starting out at least once a week and stare at it for a minute and put positive intentions into that, and maybe it relates to a goal or something you're trying to manifest, or it relates to your healing process and trying to, you could have a picture of a teddy bear up there, and it just reminds you stare at it for a minute, it reminds you to think of your inner child. It could be something so what other people might think is far removed from spirituality, but it doesn't have to be. It just has to be something that, it doesn't have to be extreme, it doesn't have to be intense. If you end up doing a lot of different things, for example, you have like a bunch of vision boards all around your room. I mean, I think that might be overkill, but I think starting small would be best and the least overwhelming. So if you want to not be overwhelmed and you want to find better habits to fall back on, and especially in times of stress, you have to lay those out before the times get super stressful. And then that will make you feel more comforted because you already know that these things, help you out in your day-to-day or in your week-to-week, your month-to-month, whatever it is. And for some of you, maybe that also includes working with deities. Maybe that does involve working with the universe or even specifically organized religion. But I would especially be careful about the organized religion part of it. I think some of you maybe in prior lifetimes have been also involved in specifically in cults. You may be more drawn to cults in this lifetime, or you may be more susceptible, because I feel like in high stress situations, like how I've been explaining, it can be hard for you to feel grounded and to not panic pray or panic meditate or panic do things. So be careful about the religious organizations you get involved in and anything that, again, is too extra. I think sometimes other people's input can be unhelpful and it can make us think we have to do things a certain way. So what I recommend, starting out small and doing things, and if it's organized religion or different groups of people, make sure you maybe do your research beforehand and actually think about, okay, am I in a right mind, a right space to make this decision to join this right now? Or will it get me sucked into this hole and make me feel like I need to stay here and that if I leave, then I don't have a purpose or I'm a bad person? A lot of you have it's very like a heavy, I think a lot of you may be upbeat people, but deep down you have a lot of heaviness in there. And that I think a lot of it really is from past life stuff, whether, again, you were a monk or not in a past life or not. I just feel like there's a lot of religious spiritual ties to past lives that are weighing heavy on your spirit or on your soul in this point of your incarnation process. So in this incarnation, in this lifetime. There's something else I was going to say. Some of you maybe actually it's kind of the opposite of what I've been saying, where you do really bad in terms of doing things alone. You prefer to be in a group or within a community, and that may be why some of you, I actually hear about that, how some people, for a lot of them, the reason they don't leave is because like their friends and family are in a specific organized religion or involved in a spiritual practice, and they don't want to leave that, and their friends that they have as well in the community. So for some of you, in a past life, I wonder if you, for example, if maybe you were a monk and you spent a lot of time like alone in isolation and maybe you felt very lonely, and that's also indicated by the Nine of Cups. In this lifetime, maybe it's the opposite, where you don't want to be alone, and that's completely fine. Find a safe space where you can have people to be around, but just make sure you're not getting sucked into anything that is overall going to have a negative impact on your soul's evolution. I hope you enjoyed 3C and take care. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. If you liked the content, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and comment down below, as it really helps my channel out a lot. You can follow me on my socials listed here on the screen, and you can also check out my website, brittneysholistichealing.com, which is also listed below. Through my website, I offer Reiki, astrology, tarot, and other services. Thank you, and blessed be.